In this episode, I'll show you how to add new 2D items to Minecraft using custom model data. For instance, we have this small coin here, which is just an example. You have the freedom to create whatever you desire, any item you prefer, so let's begin. If you're not solely interested in 2D items, but also in 3D ones, such as a hat that you can typically wear, then be sure to check out my upcoming episode on the channel. It's specifically about 3D items, of course using custom model data. If you're watching these videos regularly, this episode will probably be out in a few days. If you're watching in the future, it's already on the channel, and you can probably find it in the description. Okay, let's move on to 2D items. If the video helps you, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. I would be very grateful. If you plan to purchase any Minecraft hosting, check out the affiliate links in the description. By buying through the links, you support the channel. Thanks. Alright, we begin the adventure needing some texture, which you can create yourself, for example. In the guide to creating texture packs, you will find all the information on how to do it. Of course, you will also find it in the description, but if you don't want to spend time creating graphics, if you're not, for example. If you're not too good at it, you can always find some models on the internet. Of course, on various sites, they are available for purchase, and sometimes you can download them for free. Today, I am planning to utilize one of those complimentary packs. I will provide a link to it in the description as well. Within this pack, we possess a variety of items, including a texture resembling dollars. So I will proceed to download the pack as an example. Here on the desktop, we have the ability to see it. It is enclosed within a compressed file. We can go ahead and open it, and now, to freely edit these files, we can drag this folder to the desktop. Naturally, keep in mind that depending on the package you download, the folders inside might differ. So do not hesitate to thoroughly explore them and simply try to locate what I am about to demonstrate to you, what I will discover, which is this dollar texture or another texture in your specific case. Here, for instance, the author split the folders by language version. As I mentioned, it really depends on how the author set up these folders. I have extracted the English language version to the desktop, and now I am opening it. We begin our exploration. Frequently, folders are organized into plugins that enable you to upload these custom textures. Today, we are not utilizing any plugin. Instead, we are employing a straightforward approach from Minecraft. Let's navigate into any of these folders and then proceed onward. We continue further, delve deeper, and persist until we eventually find our way to the textures. These will be located here within the resource pack. Go further, navigate to textures, then items, and there we have it. We have successfully arrived at the .png files, and at this point I will expand them within the file explorer. Here we possess all the items that were accessible on the site. For example, we can move the dollar icon to the desktop, close that folder, and there it is. We can effortlessly rename it to something like money. At present, we have in our possession the money.png file, and the previously used folders are no longer required, so I will just delete them. Now let's move forward to establish a completely new folder with the title of our resource pack. For example, I'll create a shortcut titled My Resource Pack, but you are free to select any name you like. Let's proceed into this directory and generate a brand new text document in this location. Let's name it pack. Okay, now let's open it. Your text editor will open. For me, it's the program Notepad++, but you can also edit in others, like the regular system Notepad. In this section, you should insert this code, which is available in the description. The most crucial aspect of this particular file is that it designates that this is indeed a texture pack. Moreover, you have the opportunity to set your own personalized description for this pack here, allowing you to write whatever you desire. Additionally, we specify with this numerical value which version of Minecraft this pack is associated with. And this is of course not intuitive because we have 69 here, which is for the latest version of Minecraft currently. When we go to the wiki, I also link it in the description. Here, we possess a comprehensive list of all the numerical values corresponding to the various Minecraft versions, so if you are in the process of creating a texture pack for an earlier version, you will need to modify the number here accordingly. However, remember that this guide works from version 1.21.4 because new changes regarding the creation of custom model data appeared there, so you probably want to use at least version 46 or simply a higher one in this guide. I am using 69 because we are currently working on the latest version of Minecraft, and if you are working on a newer version of Minecraft, the methods shown today should work. These are fairly recent changes, so I think they should last for quite some time. Therefore, all the methods I will show you will work. The only thing you need to change is to actually adjust this version to your version of Minecraft. And if the modifications to more recent versions are considerably more significant, then I will most likely release a new comprehensive guide and discuss it in detail. So if your file, for instance, appears like this, you can save it. It's crucial that it is saved, and we can navigate back to our folder. Now, an extremely important matter arises. Depending on whether you are utilizing Windows 10, Windows 11, or a Linux operating system, it is essential to navigate into your File Explorer's display settings and enable the visibility of file extensions. In the Windows 11 operating system, we navigate to this location, then proceed to this section and select these specific options. This action enables us to view the .txt file extension here. At this point, we must rename this particular file once more, remove the text extension, and ensure that the file is named as pack.mcmeta. Now I press enter to confirm. Windows prompts us with a confirmation message, inquiring if we are certain about proceeding with this action, as it involves altering the file format. Indeed, we intend to proceed with this change, as that is precisely our objective. Consequently, this file is no longer recognized as a .txt file but has been transformed into a pack.mcmeta file, which is the desired outcome. The content within remains unchanged when accessed, but the focus is on having the correct extension. At this juncture, we proceed to create an additional new folder, which we will name Assets. Upon entering this folder, we create another new folder, and here you have the flexibility to use a name of your choice. For illustration purposes, I will use my search pack, but this is merely an example. Feel free to use your nickname or any other preferred name. Subsequently, we enter and proceed to create 3 new folders within this directory. The first is items, the second models, the third textures. It looks like this. Now we will enter the models folder, and here we will create another folder called item. Now I shall proceed to return one step back to those 3 folders, and this time I will enter the textures folder and create a new folder named item. Alright, and that concludes this segment. If you find yourself a bit disoriented or struggling to visualize this structure, you can utilize a text or code editing program. They present this structure more clearly, resembling a tree, allowing you to see the folder, then the models folder with an item folder inside, and here the textures folder with an item folder inside. I am returning to the standard file explorer. Our file structure is now fully prepared, and we will commence generating our models. However, before that, we can already begin working on our texture since it is ready. So we navigate into the textures folder, which is the primary folder where we modified the text file, then the assets folder with your chosen name, and the textures folder with the item folder. In this folder, we place the file.png, which is a graphic file, our $. It's crucial to name it appropriately, and then when creating models, let's adhere to that name. It will facilitate navigation and linking everything seamlessly, so I select money and will name my model accordingly. Now when creating the model, the website for generating models from MISold will be extremely helpful, and naturally I will provide a link in the description. And now it's essential to select the version for which we are creating these models. For instance, for myself, it shall be this particular one. At this point, we proceed to select the model type in this section and input the name we devised into this designated field. This represents the name of our primary folder located here within the assets directory. Exactly here, then a colon, item, and the name of our object. For me, it's money, and that's what we stick to. Let it be named the same as this texture. And here we can see that the code for our file has been generated, but fortunately we don't have to create it ourselves. All we need to do is click the download button in the bottom right corner. We shall select the desktop as an example and proceed to download this particular file. As we observed, the default designation is draft or JSON. We should modify it to money JSON or alternatively, your chosen name, which we have been utilizing consistently. Save the file, and if you happen to forget to change its designation, you can easily do so now after saving. It is not a significant issue. However, remember to name it according to the texture. Now let's navigate back to our files, access this folder, then the items folder, and place this JSON file precisely in that folder. Now we return to our generator, and by clicking here on the name, we have the option to choose a different type of generator. This time let's select model. The current one was item, as you can observe. Now it will be model. Here we enter Minecraft item/generated. It suggests it to us. We add a texture, designate it as layer 0, add it, and here we provide our package name once more, the main folder name, :item/, and again the name of our texture. Alright, we have obtained it once more, and the file appears in this manner, so we proceed to download it. Additionally, ensure you select your appropriate version here. I save it once more using the identical button, once again to the desktop, and we will designate it as money.json once again. I head back to the desktop, and here's the file. Now I go into the models directory, then the item folder, and drag this file there. That's how it looks. Each of these folders must be filled. In items, we have this money. In models, we have money again, but it is, of course, a different file. And we have our texture file here as well. Now we need to integrate our resource pack into the game. You have the option to compress these files and have the pack in a zipped format, naming it however you prefer, and you can distribute this pack to someone else or upload it to your Minecraft. However, for testing purposes, I will not utilize the zip format. Instead, I'll insert it directly. This entire directory is inserted into Minecraft, so when I am in my world, I press escape, navigate to settings, then resource packs, and all I need to do is take my pack, the folder we have been modifying throughout, drag it here, click yes, and we have our pack loaded. It is named my resource pack in this shortcut, and I just need to activate it by moving it to the right, confirm, and the pack loads. Now we need to assign our item, and we will utilize a command for that. Here we specify what item it should be in reality, which in our case will be paper, and this entire filter, texture, and model will be applied to it. Here we select what model it should be, which is of course our new money, using my custom name and the item name we have been adhering to. I press enter, and it adds the money to my inventory, and we can see it normally. If it still does not work for you, if you encounter that strange strange purple and black texture, it indicates there is an error in your files. Something was placed in the incorrect folder. You can also always reload your pack dynamically by pressing F3+T on your keyboard, which might assist. The advantage of not compressing our file, but instead inserting it as a regular folder into our Minecraft, is that when we return to those settings and open the folder of these packs, we see our pack is here. For instance, I will enter it, then go to textures, and we dynamically replace the texture. I have prepared some fake file here. I will change it to money2 so it does not load it, and change money3 to the original name. Now you will see that without restarting the game or anything, we can simply press F3+T and it reloads our files. We see the texture is broken, of course, because I just uploaded something else, but we see it dynamically loaded from this folder. So generally, you can easily fix your pack, test it, and test changes on the go, which is quite a nice option. Of course, the topic of models is quite advanced because we can do various things with them that have just been introduced in version 1.221.4. For example, we can edit these items depending on their state, such as, I don't know, depending on the phase of drawing the bow, it will have a different model. Or depending on whether the item is being used or is resting in our hand, it can also have a different state. Here you can have fun. These are all the new features that Minecraft has just added in this version. So if you're interested in creating more advanced mechanics, definitely check out this blog. I have provided the link in the description. I hope the video was helpful and that you are enjoying the new items. If that is the case, kindly subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I would be extremely grateful, and I will see you in the upcoming videos.